All right, it's time now for Focus 50 Plus, and this morning, Dr. George Schofield is here to talk about why after 50, it's a time to practice taking smart risks. Good morning.
Good morning.
And so why after that time frame after 50 is the time to take
Well,
smart
I was
risks?
really inspired by two different clients. One is a man who's in his 60s. His wife died. He was in Ohio. He decided he would take a risk and move here and begin a new life for himself rather than simply being the odd man where he was. I was also inspired by the second client who's 50, a lady who lives on Siesta and was afraid to drive to Bradenton, the 14 miles to Bradenton, because of the heavy traffic. So I think it's time to realize that if we simply do the old retirement thing and assume that risks are over, we lose a whole portion of our vitality and our remembering that we can do all kinds of things.
Right, so then in that light, what is the smart risk?
Well, a smart risk is something that makes us a little nervous, keeps our hands in terms of taking risks. And I'm not advocating danger here, but I am advocating continuing to do things which keep us a little bit more adaptable, because as we know from all the research, the two keys to successful later life are planning and adaptability. We keep the planning up because we know how to do that. Sometimes we don't keep the adaptability up very well.
So is that how it all ties in? You tie it in that way?
That is how it ties in, right.
Okay.
Simply coasting for 20 years means that with all the kinds of changes we're facing, social, financial, employment, all kinds of things that are going to happen in our lives voluntarily and involuntarily, if we simply stop taking risks, the fact is we'll lose a certain capacity for adaptability.
So then, I think I've learned quite a bit from you over these past couple months. So taking action steps, because I know you like to say action steps. What action steps would we take to put this all into play?
So it doesn't have to be big and dramatic. The fact is it can be small, but the action steps are identify something that you decided to do, not to do, excuse me. Identify something you decided not to do for no good, particularly big reason. I have a client, a woman, who simply decided she was too old at 58 to get on the water slide with her grandchildren. We had quite a conversation. Later, she went down the water slide, and it was a lot more than water slides. In fact, she went, why am I limiting myself physically? I need to go back to my golf. I can do these things. I have another client who's decided that she wants to go overseas to Southeast Asia and teach English as a second language for a year. So the fact is, I'm not talking big or small necessarily. I'm talking about keeping our hand in and not simply coasting. Risks are definitely tied to extended ability to be adaptable.
All right, so we are just always moving forward.
Absolutely.
Breaking barriers.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll see you not next week, but the week after.
Absolutely, and I look forward to it.
And so are we.
Have a great week.
We'll be right back.